get the caliper out of the way. These are very light calipers. I'm just going to hang it there like that. It's not putting too much tension there. And then we'll get the brake rotor off. That to the side. All right, we'll start with the left rear wheel bearing here. I didn't do a detailed video about how to get these bearings out. Obviously, you take off the caliper, pull off the rotor. The old bearing is here, and it's held on with 3 bolts here. They're Torx bolts coming in from the back. Pretty awkward to get to from the back. I was able to use a big Torx T-55 socket and a series of different extensions to get all 3 of the bolts out. You want to use a good socket because you do not want to strip. These Torx bolts are buried back in here, and you want to make sure you get a good grip on them. I was able to get all 3 loose. They're very tight. I used a great big long breaker bar and, like I said, different size extensions to get at each of the 3 bolts. Some of the other videos on the internet seem to suggest that one says that you need to put a jack under the leaf spring here, the transverse leaf spring, take this nut off, lower the leaf spring down, and jack this up, the spindle here, to kind of change the angle of the drive shaft and get better access in here to reach the bolts. I was able to do it with everything bolted in place with just different extensions. And this one is even a wobbly extension, so it gives you a little bit of play. Then the old bearing is held in, kind of just slides on there, and there's a big washer and a nut, and then a castle nut type thing to lock it in place with the cotter pin. So once all that comes out, pull off the old bearing. I cleaned up in here a little bit, and then here's the new aftermarket bearing, which can slide onto the drive shaft, and we'll bolt it back up. Just line those bolts up and bolt it back up from underneath with the Torx T-55.